it's seeming like it could fall under a category of inside influencership, you know? I mean, it isn't him who's pumping it. So it could be, you know, this is a conspiracy, guys. This is the markets feel healthy. You know, the ES does feel healthy. Uh, you're talking about, oh, hang on. When is he, when, guys, when is he due to speak? Is that now? Like you say all the time, someone knows all, man, someone always knows something. Is he due to speak here any minute, or is he actually on? You know what we could do too is, you know, from this side of things, should you guys not have the ability to watch under the unusual whales section, there is specifically Trump news, and this is this. I mean, the subscription does pay it. I mean, it does pay the alerts here pretty fast. I mean, it's not close enough to real time. In fact, 11:24 a.m. Eastern here. So okay, that was the last one. Let's see what we have as far as market news. Okay, none of that. Economic news. What about economic news now? Okay, let's see. This is Pacific time here, guys. It'll tell you at the end should there be an Eastern time, but it's because you know it's local to me. But yeah, this was just around 10 minutes ago. Let's see. There's a lot of Nvidia news here. You know, as I'm looking at the charts, they are. Oh my goodness, guys! The SPY is trying to do something. You know, I have it up here on the side, right? Look at this thing. This is a 684.39, 684.37. That's 38. That's 39. That's 684.40. Let me put this back. I really don't need all that space anyway. Here we go. Let me come back to the. Martin Lucas is covering it. What I mean for that is keep an ear out for something that may be you know extremely bearish. But I have a feeling, just like you know the post up there, I have a feeling it's not going to be. And remember, you know, I guess this is a moment to really prove me wrong or right. But I didn't mean to be right or wrong. It's not that. It's that DJT, the ticker, from the entries of around 11:07, you know, right down here yesterday, right? This, I was telling you that I felt like maybe something is going to be announced here soon, and it feels like it wants to do something. MSTR, sure. So his crypto thing is down. Let me also keep an eye on the, you know, one of these sides here. On Ethereum, because he's an Ethereum guy, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, MSTR. Let me catch the larger time on this. This would be Michael Saylor's strategy, the company strategy. Oh, okay. This is really not a bad formation here. On Trader TV, they were talking about MSTR and some ruling that will come down in January. Wow. Remember the whole thing about Jamie Dimon being short MSTR as well? I think there was some, or there could be talks of a resolution behind that won't make the banks go, on their belly. And I think that was a very positive thing. But from here, look at this from the perspective of Heikinashi candles. Alex, what's up, Mama? Good to see you here. Right? This is giving us what's up? This. We have an inverse head and shoulders on this, and it's pretty much at the bottom of a trend. So I know that I have a gigantic amount of things that are here. We could kind of see it like this, right? Just listening while I work? Okay. Now, there appears to be a pullback in the markets, but I gotta say that would probably be more because of the SPX, the index itself, has an hourly time frame. I believe it's the hourly time frame coming to a close in about, let me see. That's the SPY, sorry. Let me check the SPX on the other side, guys. Well, just before I continue here with, oh, that was it. Wow. Hourly in 10 minutes, 35 seconds and counting. And we also, let me see if there's anything else next to that. No, this is a lone hour. This is a lone hour closing for the SPX specifically. Yeah, it just reaccumulated out of nowhere though. The typical time for this hourly time frame to retrace back to its 50% or decompress, that would roughly be around 7 to 9 minutes roughly, and this just did it at around 12 minutes to the close, which introduces guys, this is not the point where we guess what anyone is going to say, right? But it statistically speaking, when it does that, it typically means the higher your upper targets are, the higher likelihood. It's hard to say it, right? It's hard to say it like that because we're talking about someone speaking right now, and someone speaking just whatever they want, and that can add some form of infinite variable to the market. So at this point, right, I'm keeping an eye on your index on this right-hand side, and it's fluctuating in a normal fashion. Right, and you can see the time down here, right? It's tiny, but remember, I'm on Pacific time, right, guys? So this is going to be your 2:20 p.m. Eastern. So now that it's 2:21 Eastern, this is now at this time is usually when that 50% kind of latches on this specifically the hourly time frame in this moment. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of draw this here. I'm going to put an alert against it. I want to observe what MSTR is doing, sure. And I'm also going to keep an eye on DJT because right now, guys, it's not doing bad. It's actually recovered. It recovered most of that loss that it just kind of went through. Right, it came down all the way towards that 1127, and now it's back up to 1129. Hourly time frame here, 38 minutes to close. This went up to 1131 total. Let's see, what else do we have here? This is also going to be the lone hour for for risk on assets, for the equities, for SPY and all that. So I gotta say that this hourly closure is a pretty important one, since actually, you know what, we can do just one more test on this. Let me see. Okay, actually futures has the 1 and 3 hour close. So this is specifically, yeah, the pullbacks here would be specific to the SPY and the SPX. But the ES would drive leadership in this point with 2 candle closures in 2 different times. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let me now kind of come back here. And where's my... Okay, yeah, I want to do this in another... yeah, I'm gonna do this in the same chart, guys. I'm just gonna get rid of the thesis 1 on this. So let's go ahead and group this. And yeah, this is thesis 1 and today's date. Well, I mean, it was actually a few days now, but whatever. We're on 12/3. Okay. Let's get rid of those for now. Okay, now we can go ahead and do MSTR. Yeah, this is what I did here, team. Look at that ES run, man. The ES is doing it. Futures are going. Okay, so yeah, this is what I was going to point out to you just a little bit ago, right? We're looking at this shoulder here, right? We have a head and a shoulder right over here, pointing out what appears to be a pretty obvious inverse head and shoulders. And the positive thing of this is that it is on the it is at the bottom of a trend that matters greatly, and it matters greatly because that's typically how they set up for a reversal signal. So the turning of the market would be this would be the per se trade the turn, right? Now, yeah, the volume is interesting here too, right? Because when you started approaching this consolidation range, you are automatically looking at this happen here, right? So you can see that there was kind of a clean decline in volume, just like this. You see it? And I'm pointing at from the top green candle, right? And then you're looking at the red one here, then you're looking at the red one down there, just like that. And as you're starting to find the pivot, you're immediately increasing this huge burst of volume. Although it's still dropping, it's the resistance that's making it drop here, here, and here. So as soon as we have conviction, this thing breaks out, volume would then start to accumulate. And let's see. Let me give this an eyeball from a larger time as well. And from a regular candle. Let's see, your monthly. Okay. This, remember guys that when we break down or break out from zones, there is typically the moment where we retrace and validate, right? So in this case, you have this massive downside here, and we never really tested, the breaking. First of all, the breaking of this. This is an inflection area here, right? So you have this wick matching the low of this wick here from this month, which is September 2025, right? The opening is confluent to that. April to September, and then this is your March, opening valuation confluent to this. And then looking a little more to the left, you have this bottom side that's very much confluent to all of those months too. So this is an area of inflection as well. So we kind of just bursted below this and never really tested it before continuing to the downside. Same situation with all this here. We never, ever really came back up, right? And now that we're below, now even this, right, it's showing that we never really tested this either. Now, if we look at this from a larger, even larger perspective, like this, then this now starts to describe to me a continuation to the upside. And how is it's just because we're in this we're in this like ladder up thing here. So we have a ladder up, right? We come back and validate supports, and you have another ladder up here, you validate supports, but we never really got the validation of this point. The only thing that I'm afraid of here is that this can absolutely go lower and test this area of around $71, which would be monstrous. That would be such a huge drop. And I guess it would be possible. Yeah, I guess it would be possible, but it's going to really take a great deal. This kind of like this iteration here. You see this is a smaller time frame one. So you have this break, right? You come back and validate your supports, which would be you know, right back here, slightly above this point. Then you continue the upside, then you retrace to validate again at this resistance. And then you continue the upside again, but you see that on this upside, we never came back to test that. So that's what's kind of freaking me out a little bit here. Which now makes me feel that this dude is probably going to end up saying something about, you know, that MSTR is going to be talking about dilution of some sort. Man, if this guy puts out an offering, guys, it's literally over almost immediately. I'm afraid of MSTR because of that practice, because of Michael Saylor doing that, man. And I know that, you know, a lot of the trigger here against Trump is through MSTR because of they have a huge bag, you know, of Bitcoin. Man. So if they hurt MSTR, they hurt Bitcoin, that's going to hurt Trump because his you know, his assets are a lot of Bitcoin too. And that given, right, Trump already just he pulled the trigger on 6 billion of that Kronos token, which I think it's a network. I think it's either a blockchain or it could be a network. I'm not sure. But that's no, for the immediate short term, just to kind of touch on that. Remember, guys, that I have a little bit of a vendetta against MSTR because of how it's been managed, right? But yeah, if we're talking a little bit of that shorter term. Let's see. What are you saying, brother? Katie is saying if this runs with BTC, that would make sense with what Eric Crown said in his video yesterday, that he feels a bigger pullback. He feels a bigger pullback on BTC. Man, unless he specifically makes it happen by word, that's not what history says. So what date are we in right now? Yeah, it feels like FUD. And here's this. Check this out. Within the 4 days of the first 4 days of December, if you haven't seen a lower low than what it has presently, you know, up to that moment, if you haven't seen anything lower than that, there's a high probability that is the low. So the way to confirm that would be to wait a buy period after that. So, you know, you wait for the 4, 5, 6 on the 7th day. If you haven't seen another low print by that 7th day, that would be it. The statistically speaking, that's very I mean, on many iterations here, on back tests, that marks the low. before accumulation. I mean, everyone is going after MSTR, and this thing is just going up, though. Let's take a look at this data here. JP Morgan accused of participating in market manipulation. Oh my goodness. I mean, aren't you though? Announces a Bitcoin-backed bond. Right. Oh my goodness. Dude. This is annoying. It's a long tweet. I mean, it was enough of a read up to that point. That is really obnoxious. Oh man. No, yeah, no, tell them that they can leave the boxes in the. No, it's my desk. It's my new studio. Who is it? Right. Oh, okay. Hey guys, let me just tell them where to put my boxes. Hold on. It's gonna take just a minute. Yeah, BD here. That is a fine question. Do we trust it? And wouldn't Sailor help the US stay atop? I gotta tell you, man, that it's a bunch of mixed news here. So JP Morgan sold a massive chunk of MSTR before the drop. Public filings show JP Morgan reduced the MSTR position by over 770,000 shares ahead of the breakdown. JP Morgan allegedly opened a short position against MSTR. Are they really this obvious and this dumb? I wouldn't do that. Several sources on X just search MSTR shorting that. That's what I did. I don't, man, that is really bad practice. I gotta say. Um, to tell you the truth, if I have 770,000 shares and I'm a bank, I'm creating the market to the downside with puts, and I'm staying long. I'll sell the premium. Like you're gonna really do that whole move to and then when are you getting rid of that position, the 770,000? That's not even low key. You are absolutely moving the needle. You know, that's not even you're not even. This is way outside of even iceberg orders. Like you're not even going strategically about it. It's just blast 770,000 just before that, and then you open short. Man, you're making more money if you just keep it and sell the premium as this thing starts to, you know, if somebody's already shorting it, as this goes to the downside, I would be creating calls everywhere as it drops. Short term, bi-weekly, same weeks, you know, all that stuff. JP Morgan raised MSTR's margin requirements from 50 to 95%, weakening the stock before any MSCI news. Oh, man. Look at that. August. Yeah, this is big banks rolled out. Oh. I'm wondering about MSCI though. We're talking about the market regulators, the market makers, right? Maybe someone did it without the higher ups knowing. That is a huge position, and they're subject to selling on massive slippage. MSCI, well, yeah, the thing is that if this is correct, if I'm thinking the same thing here, MSCI is the major market regulator, right? Rule setter, everything. And I believe they are part of the Democratic Party. And that is a political strike against Trump, and it's a deeper hole, right, Jen? I mean, it could be so many other things, but you see, yeah, guys, what's happening here is that the banks could be rendered not useless, but their services may start to dwindle away into the decades ahead. You know, should it be that digital currencies prove their actual worth? Oh man, that'll take a lot of banks out of the. You'll be your own bank, guys. Like that's the whole thing about crypto is you'll be your own bank. No transaction fees, right? You're going to speed up everything through the means of protocol and utility. You'll have the transfer done immediately through the means of like what Ripple's trying to do, and through cross-platform networks like the way that Polkadot is trying to merge or do too. Right? There's a lot in there that can prevent. There's a lot in there that can make some serious damage to the overall structure. I think JP Morgan is there to protect the original structure, and JP Morgan or Jamie Dimon does not want to have that interrupted. Well, I wonder why. Bias, you know, his bias is really of course he's going to make sure that his business runs well, and I understand that, and I get it. You know, I'm just stating something here. Staking will be important for holders on crypto to make wealth in the future. You know what? Yeah, if you can stake on it, at least no, I mean staking on bro, that brings a lot of fear to people because of what happened with Crow in 2022 or 2021. There was a, you know, promising your 80 to 120% ROI on crypto staking like that. You know, it ate crap with Luna and everything else, so that kind of left a little bit of bad breath. So I think yeah, man, I don't disagree with you, dude. In fact, I have some very small things that are staked, and I'm talking about tiny positions, dude. Things that I did when I first started. I promise not to touch, you know? There you go, guys. The market is rallying right now. We're catching an upside here pretty nicely, actually. Whoa. Check out the ES, give a bounce. Yeah, Alex, I'm so sorry, mama. I never even finished with Destiny. Are you trying to get out right now? Very cool. Okay, let's see. Yeah, as long as crypto is okay. I think Hood and Bull would also be okay. MSTR is a little stagnant here, but it's fine. Let's see. I'll take it to a granular level for you. We'll do this quickly. Hold on. I just got to make sure to keep an eye on things here. Let me go to that 4 hour. Wow. Let me add my alert here. Okay. All right. So upside on, let's see, we have it. Man, wow, we really do. We have upside starting from an immediate short term on this, and it's just expanding. But the thing is, it's just that it's not moving just yet, and that's incredibly annoying that it isn't. But should we have man, whatever is being said is really bullish, guys. Look at that. Panda made. No. Well, yes, it would be set up the same way. And heads up on Chronosis, we're using only the 1 minute to 8 minute time frames on that. And I think I'm gonna add another feature to it. Let me know in the email, brother. I want to have you try out also Hybrid 1 if you haven't gotten it, and I also want you to try out Alpha 1. So I'll give you access to those since you just purchased this. Upside, it looks good for the 2 minute, 3 minute. Yeah, but it's a general setup. We're gonna be guys. Just a heads up. I'm gonna be scheduling an appointment. Right. I'm gonna be scheduling an appointment to talk with the engineers of the Femex platform exchange with their algorithmic engineers. I need to speak to them in light of the execution platform that they have. I have some suggestions, and I also have some issues. So if you're experiencing any, you'll probably know why right away. But just a quick little update for you guys there, okay, team? Upside continues on the 4 minute time frame, even still 5 minute time frame looking pretty positive here. 10 minute time frame on MSTR still looks powerful. It's not on a downside pivot just yet. In fact, this is going to correct that. You're looking at 15 minutes of upside. Wow, is it? Yeah. Wow. Damn, guys, this is really, really good. Okay. We still have an upside into that. Are you serious, man? This thing has a bull flag here, guys. This is a 30 minute bull flag. I find this to not be done. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is a very, very healthy formation here, and it does look as obvious as anything should look, right? So if we get this measured move on this, this is suggesting a top side, right? This is suggesting roughly around that 190. Not bad. And it is within reason, of course, right? But it is growing in volatility. Let's see, we have about 12 minutes left to closing into the power hour. Okay, yeah, that it got me a little confused there, but it still looks. No, yeah, no, it's kinked. That one is not even there yet. Still upside. 6-hour time frame on this is still, man. You're still reading upside on all this, despite the fact that there could be some kind of a pull. But man, that 12-hour time frame is so powerful. Wow. Your daily time frame is really powerful too. I'm still bullish this, guys. I can't not be bullish this thing. It would be foolish of me to be bearish on this. My problem is that I can see why Michael Saylor is doing what he's doing. I think he just creates the offerings on this and literally rug pulls his investors, because I think he's trying to protect himself against an oncoming storm, and that's I can't even get mad at that. Yeah, absolutely. We're going back to, that's what I was talking to everybody about just yesterday, right? We're talking about pricing in or returning back to the 90% probabilities of the rate cut. As soon as that's done, we'll get the rate cut, right? Give a little peekaboo to that upside, capitulate, find the support, continue on our merry way up. I don't think there's exactly, bro. You're on the right thought. You are right there, my brother. So we're about to hit 10 minutes to closing right before the power hour, guys. And 4-day time frame on this is still expanding with an upside. This is your new 5-day on this, guys, expanding with the upside as well. We're going to be closing here the weekly time frame in about 2 days. I believe that's going to land on this Friday. And oh my goodness, the SPY is still throttling upwards, guys. My goodness. Let's see the bye week on this. My goodness, this thing is really going. Bi-weekly time frame still has an upside, and that's going to really be a hammer candle to close there. That is absolutely amazing. Okay, guys, look at this. Monthly time frame is the last one here. So I'm just going to say that this monthly would be your ATR top MSTR. You're looking at about 80 points, 80.36 points to the upside from the opening of your monthly. That would put you at an ATR top of just about 248.62. I'm not going to doubt it, right? Of course, you have resistances coming up right at that $200 mark. So heads up with that target in specific. Okay, 248.62. It's probably the entire gap. Yeah, resistance at that $200.31. And of course, you have the fair value gap resistance at 221.04. I'm not going to doubt it. Very, very expensive on MSTR. Very expensive. If you're looking at promises like this, then you're looking at, expiries that are, your 210s, right? You're looking at your 220. Should you want to keep costs down, but even still, there'll be a few $100s. They'll still be around the $500 mark, $600 mark with time. Having the extrinsic value is extremely, extremely beneficial to a trader, specifically with options contracts. Okay, so Destiny, I think that you're okay. You have Januaries for this, right? Let's see, Arca can, oh yeah, you were telling me, right? I gotcha. I read it. My bad. And presently, this is what the ES is looking like, guys. This is futures contracts, S&P 500, which you can only imagine what the SPY is looking at, right? Just like that. I want to say that I have a SPY target of just a little over 685. So, and it's sitting at 684.74. So I guess you need caution here. You know, because we are looking at the closing into that power hour time frame. So if we're, let's see, yeah, it's still looking. Hang on, guys. That's crazy. No, I just got to do 3. Hang on, team. What time is it? Yeah. There could be markets could be shifting here soon, guys. I'm not going to say that it's it could just I assume that it's going to try to retrace a little. Oh, and then maybe into the half of the it's just, you know, whatever is being said is keeping it really frothy. Heads up on MSTR. This is it's looking good. Now for it to officially break out, I feel like the hourly time frame closure on this would, this would really it would really help to at least get down to 185.41 before a continuation to that upside. And then yeah, and cool. So let me take a look at Hood. That was the one, right? Let's see. Is it, guys? Wait. Guys, do you see Hood or MSTR in your chart? On my screen. Please let me know if you see Hood or MSTR, guys. Really just need a Hood now? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Wow. That is not bad. I'm trying to see. Did they announce anything? Or I know that it has a lot to do with, sure, of course, crypto and all that. But did they announce anything to make them run? Let's see. Wow. Just barely, I think we could do it here. Oh man. Really don't like it when the 1 minutes do this, but I'm a little afraid of the power hour, but it makes me, guys, whatever is happening here, I may be wrong on this, okay? But my own discretion is leading me to leave a position open here, although it's a dangerous thing to do into power hour, right? But like as far as the way that this is pushing, it makes me feel like it's still going to go further up, even into the power hour. It's going to be, let's see, 2 minutes from now. So we have a 133.49 is your ATR top. This hit 133.44. Oh my goodness. That makes it an extra layer of just you've already ran the whole day. Do you have it? Is it expiring this? Is it expiring in 2 days? Oh, I mean, if you have that kind of time, you may. Let's see. Yeah, it could. You know, I mean, here's your gamble, right? You have a very nice potential for a bull pennant that may be able to take you to these targets up top, which is going to be another 15 to 25 cents. You know, being that this could be your bull flag and also your bull pennant. You get the breakout, you get the top, but this could also be the fake out because in less than 40 seconds you're breaking down, but you would be closing into power hour. This resistance up on here, all of this to me is bull trap. All of that, and then your critical back test. This right here, this is what I meant. So as soon as you start getting these top sides, I would just be exiting on the push, especially having these last 15 seconds. I can't tell you what to do, Alex. It's just me. I'm like that though. Yeah, why not? And you have 3 seconds. Careful. My goodness, man. Oof. It still could rip. Who knows, what if they just really want the absolute top or a little bit of a peekaboo and then bam, it's just, the other thing is that we're still having people, the president speak. What if he talks about something super bullish? Here's your peekaboo, man. Wow. You still in? Goodness gracious. This is insane. Where are you though? Oh, you're not in, you just sold? How much did that give you now percentage when you sold? How much percentage were you up? It must have been way more because of that parabolic push there. Man, I would not be in something like that at this moment. That is just way too scary. Super, super Larry there. But I mean, outstanding job though, is you really have to meet yourself here. This is where you're literally face to face with yourself, with who you are in these situations. You have to tell yourself, man, it's just like we take the gain here or we gamble it or we gamble it outside of your threshold. You're up about 40%. Imagine that. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Look at this thing. Look, 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 look. See what it's doing? Here's what I tell you: it's bull trap central up there. Like, I mean, it could still run up, you know, but I wouldn't participate further than that. It was just because I'm a day trader, though. Like, I can see like they're gonna just revert it, sell it, something, you know. And it's not it doesn't harm to just, right, man. You could have lost a lot of your gains in that huge drop with how fast it went. You could have been up right there easily 17-18% on your, you know, from your previous 40. Damn, I'm really happy you did too. Oh my goodness. Sorry, team. I think and meanwhile, the ES is trying to push for another high. Yeah, whatever's being said is just massively silly. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, dude, nice. So on look at this on GME. We pretty much, we're starting to get that rejection that we were looking for from this point here, right? I can tell you right now, I'm not sure if it's going to go all the way down there, but it feels like it has that. It feels like it has that in line here. Dang, okay. Yeah, everything started going really freaking crazy. Let me pull up the heat map here. I want to know what we're looking like. Let's see, stocks. Yeah, Tesla 4%, Google 1.6. Man, okay. In some way, it feels like Apple and Microsoft and Amazon, it feels like those are recovering. Let's see. George K, let's see, short interest. So now reportedly shows a short interest near 10% with 27.49 million shares shorted, the highest level since April 2025. Man, okay. So they also have failure to deliver, many above average failure to delivers. Wow. This is, yeah, this was the, I think this was the attack here. Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing, brother. If, let's see. They are, Eddie. You got it. Let's see. Taking their power away. That they have. Yeah, like before. Yeah. And that was way back. Hold on, guys. You think SPX will break 68.80 before closing? Let me get rid of it. Hold on, man. Okay, off from the school, off from the school. Got it. Yeah. So Destiny, this is what I was talking about for the SPX was that this area would be likely the zone to pull back into and then grab some liquidity for a continuation to the upside. I'm just saying to be careful, right? Because this is kind of it is a bit of a drop, but I believe that this is going to start to accumulate here. Here now, like soon, right? I think this is the entries here for a continuation to the upside. Now, for the last 10 minutes into the imbalance, that's where it's going to get a little sticky, right? So I'm wondering if this is going to speed up here over the next 9 minutes towards the upside and even break above the 68.62. And I'm wondering if we're going to get right up here into the 68.66. That's a lot for it to do in 9 minutes. The higher likelihood would be 9 minutes here to 68.62, but I'm wondering if this wants to break it, and then this would fall into the close. The difficult thing here is that when you're trading the SPX in the last 10 minutes, in the last 5 minutes, people risk off their calls because this doesn't trade 15 minutes after the close. So it's important for you to, when you're playing the SPX, it's important for you to realize any profits on the SPX before 12, or before the power hour, or during the first 30 minutes of the power hour, so that you could shift your position over to SPY. So then when SPY comes in, you'll have the grace period of the 15 minutes afterward. Should you have another pump to the upside on the SPY, which this won't allow you to do. Guys, I cannot tell you what to do, right? But I would right around here would be a minimal entry here, minimal entry on DJT. Minimal. Like if you already had your dedicated amount of whatever trading capital, I would probably load here just around 25% of that allowable entry now on DJT. Now, as far as the SPX, this thing it bumped. It's trying to bump. And NUVB from yesterday, guys, this is absolutely doing what we said. Unfortunately, right, we didn't get down to the absolute liquidity zone of 730 to around 723. It did make it down to around 735 before getting the upside that we kind of were looking at, right? But this is a really tough place to be at, because we said that once we would reach this area of 813 or 815, that there could be a pullback here, right? This one, that there would be a pullback to really bring it down to 626-ish, 670s, and then get a massive upside towards the 851 to 916, which we said could happen today. And it's interesting that it just skipped all of that stuff. But we are at resistance here on the 4-day time. Let's see what this is let's see how it can react against that resistance there. But yeah, it's been a run on this, guys. Immediate short term take profits were already done. And I'll remember, when you're up here like this, guys, it's always a good thing to assume that it could be some kind of a bull trap. But it is looking good, guys. And here is the present SPX position, right? It's now breaking above this resistance here. So I'm really wondering, I'm not even kidding, I'm really wondering if this wants to break above and continue to that upside. There's not too much in the way here as far as resistances. I know that there's one right at about 68, 60, 45, but that may not be like super significant of a resistance. I think it wants to run. And I'm not sure if it's going to run the entire time, because I feel like in the last 5 minutes or in the last 2 minutes, they're going to, the calls are going to realize their profits. And from that point, it'll just, kind of fall. And that typically is kind of a strategy to play in the imbalance the last 10 minutes, right? That people would start releasing their position in the direction that it's going. Here it goes. Look, check it out. Look at it. My goodness. And also, this makes me feel like we're going to gap up into tomorrow. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, it's got push. I'm just afraid of the time on this. That's the only thing I'm really afraid of. Only $5 a contract, Lotto. Okay, I thought you were in a major position. All right. Yeah, just heads up. I mean, let's see. Ford, Stellantis, and GM stocks rise after Trump announcement. Nice. Very cool. Okay, so yeah, NUVB guys, it's still man, it's right at that resistance. It's trying to push above it. Very cool deal. Okay. All right, guys. So, team, I just keep on getting calls and texts from the school. I really need to get there early. You got 13 minutes to close, guys. This is a critical time. Roughly, people start relieving their positions around this time. But if it does have that push, should it be coming down like this in these last in the last 10 minutes? If it's down ticking, that usually means that it'll uptick. And if it's upticking into the last 10 minutes, that usually means that it'll downtick. Okay? Be careful with that, because the imbalance really is something. But to me personally, I still feel like an edge. The last minute or 2 minutes, I feel some downside, yeah. But I feel like this wants to make an upside, and that, guys, just it may be just entirely wrong or whatever, but it's just a personal bias. Okay, team? So let me go ahead and I need to run to the school now, guys. If there's anything you need from me, please, please send me financial. Love you, buddy. Thanks so much for everything, man. Daryl, later, buddy. I'll see you, Destiny. Not a problem, George. Of course, brother, always. See you, Gar. Later, Daryl. Bye, team. Take care, everybody. Later, Alex. Bye, Jen. Bye, everybody. Please be safe. Hit me with anything, okay? I'm around. I'll just be with my boy here. I mean, it's a little early from his dismissal. Financial, I love you, bud. Thanks so much for everything. No problem, Destiny. See you guys. We'll talk soon, okay?